Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're taking a close look at cybersecurity giant Zscaler. We're going to tear down their latest earnings report to really understand their blueprint for the AI era. It's not just about how they're growing, it's about how they're pretty much rewriting the rules for what success looks like in this new world. So check this out. The company kicked off their investor call with just one number, 78. That's it. It's a super bold move, right? A clear signal that they're playing in the big leagues. It definitely gets your attention. But what on earth does it mean? Okay, so to get what that 78 is all about, we've got to talk about a really important formula. It's kind of the gold standard for figuring out how well a software company is really doing. It's a key metric you'll see for pretty much any high-growth tech company out there. And that benchmark is called the Rule of 40. It's pretty simple, actually. It's all about balancing two things, growing super fast and actually making money. The idea is, if you take your revenue growth rate and add your profit margin, that number should be over 40. If it is, you're doing great. Well, Zscaler is at 78. I mean, they're not just hitting the gold standard, they're nearly doubling it. And look, this isn't just some number to brag about. It's a real sign of healthy, lasting growth that very few companies can pull off. It puts them in this, well, very exclusive club. So the big question is, how are they doing it? Let's dive in. All right, here's the plan for today. First, we'll look at the new AI threat that's kind of changing the game. Then, we'll get into Zscaler's 3 big pillars for tackling that threat. And finally, we'll check out the results and see if this whole blueprint is actually working. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the big challenge here. Zscaler's whole strategy is built to deal with a threat landscape that's changing like every single day. You know, the old ways of doing security, the playbooks that were made for offices and desktops, they're basically broken. They're becoming totally obsolete, especially now that AI is in the picture. And listen, this is not some what-if scenario or problem for the future. Zscaler CEO, Jagtar Chaudhry, he pointed to a real-world example on their earnings call. An AI coding assistant, a tool built to help people, was hijacked and turned into a weapon. It was used to launch this huge automated cyber attack all by itself. I mean, that just makes the security game infinitely more complicated. So what this all means is that we need a totally new way of thinking to fight these threats. We're moving away from that old castle and moat idea, right? Where you build a big wall around your company and just assume everyone inside is safe? Yeah, that's completely broken now. Zscaler's whole approach is called Zero Trust. Think of it like this. It's airport security for the internet. Every single person, every single request gets a full check every single time. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're coming from. And that idea leads us right into their first major pillar, securing AI itself. And this is really important. It's not about trying to stop the AI revolution, it's the opposite. It's about building the security framework that lets companies use AI safely, so they can actually unlock all its amazing potential. So they're coming at this from 3 different directions. First, pretty simple. You can't protect what you don't know you have. So they help companies find every single AI tool being used. Second, they basically act like an ethical hacker, but for AI. They're constantly testing a company's own AI models to find vulnerabilities. And third, they're the security guard, watching in real time what people are typing into these AI tools and what's coming out, all to stop data leaks or potential attacks. And the scale here, it's just mind-boggling. 90 billion. That's how many AI and machine learning transactions their platform secures every single month. It just goes to show you how fast and how deep AI is already woven into the fabric of business. Okay, on to pillar number 2. This is all about taking that airport security idea we talked about and just putting it everywhere. They call it Zero Trust Everywhere. It's not just for people working from home anymore. We're talking branch offices, we're talking cloud servers, literally every single connection point a company has. And you know, this isn't just some marketing slogan on a PowerPoint. Companies are adopting this at a crazy pace. More than 450 large enterprises have already signed up for the full Zero Trust Everywhere platform. And get this, they hit that goal 3 quarters, that's 9 months, ahead of schedule. That just tells you how desperately the market needs this right now. And this is where you can see the massive opportunity for them. Think back maybe 10 years or so, when every company moved their email from their own servers to Microsoft's Office 365. That one shift created this huge new need for cloud security. Well, Zscaler CEO says we're seeing the exact same thing happen all over again, but this time with giant systems like SAP moving to the cloud. When that happens, you have to throw out your old security. It just doesn't work, and that creates this huge wave of demand that Zscaler is perfectly positioned to ride. Which brings us perfectly to the third and final pillar. It's all focused on the prize, the thing that Zero Trust is really there to protect, the data. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, that's what the bad guys are always trying to get their hands on. And this quote from the CEO just nails the exact pain point they're solving. Customers are just fed up. For years, they've been forced to buy dozens of different little security tools for data protection. It's a total mess. It's complicated, it costs a fortune, and frankly, it doesn't even work that well. Zscaler's whole pitch is basically, stop the madness, get rid of all that junk, and just use our one platform that does everything. And is that message working? Well, how about this for proof? $450 million. That's what their data security products alone are bringing in every year. You can see it right there. Customers are voting with their wallets, and they're voting for a simpler, unified approach. Okay, so that's the strategy, right? Secure the AI, expand Zero Trust everywhere, and unify data security. Now, let's pull back the curtain and see the engine that's actually making all this happen. And of course, the results it's pumping out.
A really big piece of their sales machine is this clever program they call Z-Flex. Basically, it makes buying security stuff super easy. A customer agrees to spend a certain amount over a few years. Then, whenever they need a new security feature, they can just turn it on. No new contracts, no long negotiations. They can even swap services if their priorities change. It's all about removing friction and making it a no-brainer to use more and more of the Zscaler platform.
And does it work? Well, the proof is right here in the numbers. We're talking consistent, impressive growth, over 25%. And remember, that's at a massive scale. They're already over $3 billion in annual recurring revenue. This is an engine that is absolutely firing on all cylinders. And this isn't just a story about one region. It's totally global. Yeah, the Americas are the biggest piece of the pie at just over half, but they're seeing really strong growth coming from Europe, the Middle East, and the Asia-Pacific regions too. So this all brings us to the final and maybe the most important takeaway. Zscaler is not just focused on solving the security problems we have today. They're positioning themselves for the problems of tomorrow. As AI gets more powerful, it's going to go from being just a tool we use to being an autonomous agent that makes decisions all on its own. And when that happens, this question becomes one of the biggest questions in all of tech. Who is going to be responsible for securing them?